So it's one beautiful day in 2025. I look out the window in the great outdoors and just decide, things are maybe going a little bit too good right now. So what do I decide to do? I decide to enter for the Australian Karting Championships, or otherwise known as AKC. Another little bit of context that I want to add into this video. So the Tag 125 class, as well as the Tag 125 restricted category, basically what this class is just a combined class with all of the 125cc go-kart engines from around the world. You got your IMX30, you got your Rotax Max Evo, you got your Rock GP, and then you got your PRD Galaxy, which no one really ever uses anymore. But going into the weekend, it was pretty much favoured that the Rotax Max Evo engine was going to be the most dominant of all the three, because they've had a barrel upgrade as of last year, and since then everybody's now switching to Rotax Power, because that's just now the engine, or I guess the meta that everybody's following for that class. And then you had a few Rock GPs on the rise as well, and they're probably the newest edition of 125cc engines classed here in Australia. So now we come to AKC round 4 at my track in Ipswich, and the favour is with Rotax, as it's a mid-range powerful engine as much as the Rock. So me driving an X30, I'm expected to be at a pretty big disadvantage. But also at the same time too, I got to cut myself some slack here, because I'm against a lot of these guys who actually have experience with the open class category, and I don't. So definitely some confidence that I will require to work on this in the future. But in the meantime, let's just crack our cold one open and enjoy the video. So here we are for the grid of Heat 1. Unfortunately, my front cameras, actually both my cameras, did not catch the qualifying session, but here we are, qualified 35th overall out of 53 drivers total for the class. So the racing happens in two different groups, so there was a 50% low and 50% high different qualifying group. I was actually 10th in the low qualifying group, and overall qualified 35th overall. So yeah, and we're starting 17th and 18th for the vast majority of the heats. But here we are for the start of Heat 1, ready to go out on track, and yeah, here we go, let's see what we can do.
Well, that's, yeah, pretty much everything she wrote for my AKC debut in tag. As much as I had a lot of fun, I can't help but also mention my disappointment that was my performance. I think straight up, there's no point in sugarcoating it, as it's just pretty obvious and evident. I was just underdriving and overdriving at times, but mostly underdriving due to lack of experience on the compound tyre that the unrestricted 125s run. So, yeah, straight up, 100%, just I underdrove the go-kart and didn't really get to use much of the tyre. For the race, when it was raining, I didn't have the go-kart set up entirely complete, so that's just on me. I thought what I had was enough. I forgot that I actually had a part that I could use. And where's this guy going? He has no clue. Wasn't even using an indicator, and he's parking his car 2 car lengths behind at a red light from the car ahead. Come on. But anyway, yeah. So heat 2, we had a wet race, and just didn't execute the setup. Didn't have it fully ready and complete. Missed out on a couple of things, and also did something incorrectly, I think, which also hurt me in terms of corner exits, because everyone was just leaving me for dead in corner exits, which was just absolutely ridiculous. Like, that had to be probably one of the worst wet drives that I've ever had, despite not having an off or getting the kart entirely mudded up, but just, yeah, had no pace coming off the corners for some reason. So yeah, and then basically for the rest of the weekend, like heat 3, 4, just I didn't really drive hard enough. I think heat 4 I could have, I tried to be a little bit harder, but I think the kart was just all a bit wrong for me. So yeah, just 100% underdrive the kart and then overdrive the kart in different forms of the weekend, and didn't execute in the rain when it rained down in those tricky conditions. So yeah, that's ultimately it. There's not really any point sugarcoating what a bad experience the weekend actually was. In saying that, though, despite the setback, despite the negativity and disappointment, the weekend was still fun. It was good. I did enjoy the atmosphere being there. It was good to get up and close and personal with the competition. From those that travel afar, and to those that could make the event at Ipswich Kart Club a incredible weekend. So yeah, if I choose to pursue tag for the foreseeable future, there's definitely a lot of work on my side of fitness-wise that needs to be done, and also driving-wise. More so driving-wise, I felt like my fitness on the weekend, for the track conditions as they were, was actually quite good. But yeah, just ultimately just lacked the speed and the knowledge of this class. And not only that too, X30 was at a huge disadvantage, I think, if anyone really saw what was happening. Rotax and a Vortex Rock GP were the leading engines for that class, and a Vortex Rock GP actually had won in the Tag 125 with a Tony kart. Shout out to Mika for P1 and OTK Australia for absolutely dominating the event in tag. So yeah, something to look at for the foreseeable future, and if I plan to drive in this class again on a more frequent basis, then that's something I've got to get my head around, is how to race and how to drive on that tyre, because it's a lot different kettle of fish to how you would drive in tag restricted. Very, very different. But yeah, that was my second ever AKC, but debut, first ever one for tag. So good to have some experience under the belt. Good to know what my weaknesses were and what to work on for the future. But in the meantime, guys, that's gonna be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed watching, even though it may have been a bit of a disappointing one, but I hope you enjoyed it nonetheless. And I guess that's it until next time, so goodbye and keep on racing.